Bodine 52. How are you, folks? I have a problem. Anybody that subscribes to me that is from Canada, please stay tuned, because I need your help. If you're not from Canada, or you know, as a matter of fact, I guess this is it for everybody. My role at work is being expanded, and I'm going to need some advice. Stay tuned. Alrighty, folks, I am out and about with a beautiful Miss Universe, Mrs. Bodine. Say hello.
Hello.
So many of you know that I travel 2 or 3 weeks a month. 2 weeks, wouldn't you say, Mrs. Bodine?
Yes.
Which, by the way, keeps your marriage good when you're out there.
It does.
You agreed to that really quickly. That's concerning. But anyway, that's a whole different video. So, many of you know I travel. And I have 4 or 5 offices that I'm responsible for at my company, and that I support, from Princeton, New Jersey up through Boston and Maine. So I do travel quite a bit, and I have been with my current company 2 years. It'll be 2 years, June 24th to be exact. And I was with the company before then for 28 years. So it's a little bit different, but we just reorganized. And you know how that is. It makes a lot of people uneasy when you reorganize. And I have a new assignment in my new job, or new role. I shouldn't say that. My role is just changing a little bit. And I now have some additional geography, if you will. I think that's the nice way they said it. You have some additional responsibility, and we need your leadership because we love you. Actually, they just need me to do the job, but I do love the company that I work for, especially if any of them happen to watch this vlog. But to get to the point, which takes me some time, especially when there's multiple cars pulling out on me, I no longer am going to be taking care of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, as well as Princeton, New Jersey. Now, New Jersey, I'm not too sad about that, even though I'll miss the team. Pittsburgh, I'm okay with. Not too sad about missing that, though I'll miss the team. But I live in Pittsburgh, north of Pittsburgh. So, I will still continue to take care of upstate, most of New York, other than the city of New York. Danbury, Connecticut, and Boston. Those are 3 offices that I've supported anyway. But I now have I now go north of the border. So I am responsible as well for Toronto, Ottawa, let's see, Quebec City, and Montreal. So that is for 7 offices, handled by 6 managers that I'll be supporting, if you will. And, well, Canada's different, right? A lot of you are from Canada. We love Canada. Multiple reasons. One is, a lot of you, Canada and the US has always been close allies and friends. And I am half Canadian, eh? Now, I will tell you that I grew up in Michigan, just close to, just outside of Detroit, in the Ambassador Bridge. because my grandmother lived right across the bridge. You remember that, Mrs. Bodine?
Yes, I do.
And my father was born in Blenheim, Ontario. So, thus I say that I am half Canadian. So here's the problem. As I talked to some peers of mine, and I had my first call with the additional team members on Friday, I'm realizing a couple things. One is, in Montreal and Quebec City, they speak French. I took French class when I was in 9th grade or 10th grade in high school, just because there were a lot of girls in it. I probably got like a C. I don't know one lick of French. Okay, I can go French from dummies. You know, the district manager up there is bilingual, of course, so that is very helpful. But you know, you need to gain the respect of those folks, and so that's number one, language. Fortunately, everybody's on Eastern time, so that doesn't screw me up too much. But the second problem is, for alcohol or for social drinking, I like to drink beer, or I will have some mixed drinks. Nothing crazy, but I am not a wine drinker. And you know, some people would say, well, that's your problem. Well, I'm learning that especially up near Montreal, and that when you go out with customers for events and stuff like that, is a problem. So, number one, I got to figure out how you handle that.
There's Rachel's Roadhouse. Sorry.
Really? Is Rachel from Montreal? Oh, okay. I was just checking. What the heck is going on here? Except I'm going to go through the stop sign. So my question is, number one, advice from my Canadian friends on the language. By the way, if you are from Toronto, Montreal, Quebec City, or Ottawa, I will be traveling up there. So hopefully, maybe one day I can buy you a beer, or we can have a wine conversation. So, what do you suggest? Maybe French for Dummies book I should start, and I'm gonna try to start drinking a little bit of wine. And if I do, what are you laughing at? What do you suggest that I start with? Challenges, Mrs. Bodine. So Mrs. Bodine will continue to see me for one or...
You should try the sweet Zinfandels.
Is that right?
Yep.
You know what? I know red and white wine. That's all I know. Ask me about beer or
all wine is good.
Or drinks. Well, I guess, Mrs. Bodine, some advice I have was it should be red wine, but you know, red, white, orange, I don't know. So that is my challenge, and I need your help with that. Trying to figure out what my new life and schedule is going to be like with some added responsibilities. Have you ever had added responsibilities to your job that's been like kind of really impact you? And did they pay you more money? That's a good question, isn't it, Mrs. Buddy? You're probably wanting to know that, aren't you? So that is my deal. How can I adapt? And how am I going to ride my motorcycle over there? That's a problem, isn't it? What do you think? Mrs. Bodine, you're not offering a lot of advice, quite frankly.
I'm just listening and taking in the sights.
Really? Alright, folks, Mrs. Bodine is not going to help me with this issue, so help me out, please. Any advice? I surely could use it. other than when you're going out for a nice ride.
Just be yourself.
Just be myself. Really. You know, it's kind of funny because I joked earlier a little bit by saying A, and that could be offensive, I don't know. But I will tell you this.
Why would it be? I mean,
I don't know. When I lived in Michigan and I moved, I went to school. When I left in college and when I left, well, college I went to Michigan, so everybody said A still there, because when you live in Michigan, you still get a lot of that. I think I've stopped saying that over
Canadian flair?
Canadian lair, I guess. I don't know.
Flair.
Excuse me?
Flair, not lair.
Flair?
Uh-huh.
Really? Well, I'm sure times have changed since I was 22 years old. So we will see. You'll have to let me know if I start talking different, and you know how it is when you're I'm not sure that's it, Mrs. Bodine. If that's your advice on my teaching French.
Bonjour,
yeah, well, I do know this. As you gain respect of people, and especially your team, when you go out with others, they will ask to folks to speak English for you. But I want to do my part by learning, that's for sure. So, all right, folks, I appreciate you listening in on this, and would appreciate any advice you have. And it looks like it is Autism Week or something.
Last week.
Oh, it was last week. So
it'll be until tomorrow, though.
I gotcha. That's good to know. Very good to know. All right. Well, this is Bodine 52, out with Mrs. Bodine, sharing my world problems that now have just expanded. So, thanks for checking in with us. Please be safe on and off the motorcycle. Hug a loved one. And bonjour. Oui? What does that mean? Bonjour? Oh, I don't know. Oh, I don't know. I'm going to go look it up. What do you think?
Go on your own.
Oh my gosh, help me, folks. That is all.